Hi, everyone. Let's check if I'm live, actually. Okay, looks good. All right. Hello and welcome to another YouTube live session here on the Pinkfresh Studio channel. My name is Kathleen, if you haven't joined me before. And today I'm going to create a scrapbook layout in the next 90 minutes. And I'll be using the Simple Things collection and a few bits and bobs here and there. I'm not quite sure yet what exactly. So if you could see what my desk looks like and the floor around me, I frantically pulled so many different products from my stash, from my Pinkfresh Studio stash for this live, because I'm not quite sure, well, not completely sure what I want to do. And we are currently preparing a move, so everything is crazy. So anyway, welcome everyone. So behind the Pinkfresh Studio name in the chat, it's Heather. Hi, Heather. She's going to help me out today with if you have any questions. And she's also going to pick a winner at the end of this YouTube live session, who is going to win a $15 gift card to the Pinkfresh Studio shop. And all you have to do to be eligible to win is just be active in the chat. So every time you post something in the chat is another entry. So let us know when you shared this video with someone or when you've liked the video and so on. And I'm gonna try my best to check the chat every now and then to see if there are any questions, but if I miss anything, Heather is also going to help me out and jump in. And if neither of us answers your question, then please just ask again. We're not ignoring you. Yeah, so let me switch my camera. So you can see what I have prepared for today. So right now it's basically just the Simple Things collection on my desk here. I have the 12 by 12 papers off to the side, but I also have like tons of things around me, as I said. And we will see where this is going. So I have a few different ideas in my head. And if you've watched any of my YouTube live sessions before, then you will know that I kind of go with the flow and I kind of do, like, I rarely have a complete plan. I just kind of, yeah, go with the flow. So anyway, let's see, what photos do I have? So I have two sets of photos. I'm not quite sure which I'm going to use, but you can see that they both have the same size. So they are, let's measure, they're not completely 3 by 4. They are more like 2.5-ish by 3 and a quarter, something like that. And so one set is black and white, and it's my husband and my son. And the other set is color, but in colors that work really well with the collection, with two scrappy friends. So because this collection, if you've joined me before when I was using this collection, then you will have heard me talk about it, because I helped inspire this collection. It was designed by Inna Moreva, but I provided the inspiration for it. So it has quite a few bits and pieces there are quite a few bits and pieces in the collection that kind of go with the crafty theme. So you have some scissors, paint brushes, a paint palette, if that's what you call it, things like that. So perfect for documenting things like that. But of course, it also has lots of everyday elements like coffee, these houses, flowers, and so on. So these two photos were taken while we were on vacation in Italy. So they kind of go with the more like sunshine, flowers, things like that. So either would work really well with this, but yeah, as I said, I haven't completely decided on what exactly I'm gonna do with them. I'm just gonna check the comments real quick. Yeah, my crafty space right now, well, actually our whole apartment right now is an obstacle course. So I know the feeling, Emily. And then I also have, so apart from the collection, I have a few pieces here that I kind of left over from different projects, but they were all made using Pinkfresh Studio products. So I thought I would kind of try to maybe incorporate some here and there. So you can see these, for example, were made using the rosettes layering stencils and coordinating dies. And the colors actually work really well with the collection, even though I made them well before the collection even existed. Then I also have this bow that I made with some scraps from the collection using some Pinkfresh Studio dies. And then also these butterflies, for example. And you can see I made, so these were made using the small butterflies product suite, which includes layering stencils, hot foil plate, dies, and so on and so forth. And you can see that, again, I made these well before the collection, but they work really well with the color scheme as well. So I thought, I would use this project to maybe try to use up some of the leftovers that I have. And here I'm actually so this actually gave me a new idea. I just grabbed this leftover piece. This was made using I'm not exactly sure. I think festive tickets, something like that. Maybe Heather can help me out. Let me check the website real quick. Yes, festive tickets, stencil, die, and stamp. So yeah, this actually gave me another idea. And I think that I will go with this idea. You don't know what it is yet. You will find out in a second. I will have to grab this die real quick in a moment because this will play a big a part in this project. I just decided. It is in stock. I just checked. So yes. And it's a great die for any kind of project, not only, even though it's called festive tickets and the stamp set is Christmas themed or holiday themed, it's a great everyday kind of die. Okay, so let me explain real quick what kind of idea these two pieces just gave me. All right, so let me move things over. So first of all, I'm going to start with my background. It's a 12 by 12 white cardstock. I usually start with a white cardstock base. And with the idea that I have in mind, I need a rather plain background. Okay. And then in the collection, in the Simple Things collection, there is a paper called Take Note, which is this one. And you can see it has lots of different kind of note papers or notes. And my idea behind this paper was that you could fussy cut those and use them as like embellishments or pieces in your projects for journaling or just for, layering. So my idea was, and the photos actually have the perfect size for that. And I think I'm going to use the black and white. We will see. This is something I can decide, more towards the end. But let's say we are going to use the black and white. So my idea is to fussy cut quite a few of those. Then also die cut a few more of those festive tickets from white cardstock, but also from maybe some paper scraps I have left from this collection. Like, for example, this delicious paper. And then create like a centerpiece with lots of different of those notes and tickets layered on top of each other, behind each other, to create this kind of look like a really full kind of, what do you call them in English? Memo board? Is that what you would call it? Like a pin board or a cork, you know, these cork boards that you would hang on the wall where you put push pins and little notes. And I want it to look like it's really full with lots and lots of notes and lots of dimension and so on. So, and I will be this, and then I will also incorporate the photos to kind of look like they are another note. So that's where we are going. Okay, gonna check the comments. Oh, you're welcome, Roxanne. Yeah, I love using like themed kind of products for a different theme or for non-themed projects, you know, like coming up with a way to use a Christmas or holiday themed product on a non-holiday themed project and so on. Just to get, you know, that way you can also get a lot more bang for your buck, I think you would say. So I'm just going to go ahead real quick and fussy cut some of the notes, not all of them. And you can see I'm not being particularly exact, because in the end, when you see this, you will never know if I cut that out perfectly or not. So I'm not going to stress about that. Oh, and the back side is also one of my favorite papers from the collection. It's this sunshiny paper. So again, I'm not being precise. No one will be able to tell. And besides, quite a few of those notes will get covered, at least partly, by other notes or other papers. So I'm not, you know, I'm okay with that. Now I already have this one, so you can see it already has some glue on it or some adhesive on it. This is because I used it in a different project and then decided, you know, in the end that I won't use it. So I have this left over. So as I said, I'm not going to cut all of them. And I may not use all of them in the end, but we will see. And of course, I mean, if you personally care more about being more precise, then take your time while cutting those. So I want this piece that's a bit more neutral. And you could even take the same paper from the 6x6 paper pad and cut a few more of the notes from that paper, because in the 6x6 the designs are of course scaled down, so you will get a few smaller notes to layer in. Thank you, Paola, but I'm really not good with the scissors. It's just a really easy shape to cut, especially when you're not being precise. So I think it's, you know, it only looks like I am really good with those scissors, but I would use a different pair of scissors for more intricate pieces. Okay, now for those up here, these kind of holes or that are only half a circle, hole, whatever. I'm going to show you a trick, but I will have to grab my crocodile. Now, you could use a crocodile or just a regular hole punch. The only thing that you need to take into consideration is like the size of the hole that your punches. So it should be roughly the same size as these here. And then just use your crocodile or hole punch and line it up and just punch those half circles. I'm not sure if you can really tell. And that way you get, you know, rather neatly cut half circles, because those I really can't fussy cut. They always end up looking really kind of with like jagged lines, jagged, whatever. So yeah. And now you can even maybe ruffle some of those up to make it look a bit more like it was torn from a notepad. And you could even do that with a different piece. Let's say you cut this one, like you cut off the washi tape part and then just use your crocodile and punch along the top to create the same effect. You could do this with any kind of paper scrap you have left. And I did this same kind of technique on my last project in my last YouTube live, but in a more like larger version. Okay. Okay, so let's see how far we can get with those. And I'm just trying to see how much more I will need for the volume, like dimension that I'm going for. Don't want them to be in the same line, the photos. Okay, didn't cut any of the pink. I don't want the circle. I want only kind of like rectangular pieces. And this one is too large for me, but what you can do is just simply cut it smaller to make it look like it was a small note paper from the beginning. It looks like it was always like that. So, okay. Now let me grab the festive tickets die real quick. Gonna need a second. There it is. Okay. So this is the stamp set for the festive tickets product suite. So you can see it is actually Christmas themed, holiday themed. So I won't be able to use any of the stamps. And there are also coordinating layering stencils for these pieces here, for these little illustrations. And then there's a coordinating die that die cuts the illustrations and also the ticket. So I'm just going to use the ticket, as I said. So you can see here what kind of cute tickets you can make with it. That was one of my favorite products from the August 2023 release. Look how organized I am. Okay, so this is the die. Thank you, everyone. I'm happy that you like where this is going so far. So you can see, as I mentioned before, I want to maybe use up some of those pieces so you can see how I can later maybe layer in some of the butterflies, for example. They work perfectly with this color scheme. Or even, you know, the bow. So yeah, definitely going to try to incorporate some of those. Maybe even, you know, let's see. First of all, I'm going to cut a few more of the tickets. And I'm actually pretty sure that I had a few more left, but I'm not sure where I put them. Usually I put those pieces like in the same packaging, like in the back of the packaging, so I can grab them. Okay, never mind. I can't find them right now, so I will have to die cut a few of them. But it shouldn't take long because it's a rather small die. And I don't need a ton of them. So let's see. I also want to, as I said, make use of some of the paper scraps that I have left. And here's another tip. So this is one of the inserts from one of the products in this collection. This actually says chipboard frames, but it's the same kind of insert in like puffy stickers and so on. And on the back side, it's completely white apart from this part here. And on the front, it has a very faint kind of minty green grid design. And that was intentional because I wanted to be able to use this paper, you know, and not let it go to waste. So I'm just going to go ahead and die cut ticket from that. This is also perfect for turning it into tags for journaling, or for actually also using it as a pattern paper on your project. Yeah, it's just, you know, another way to get a bit more out of the products that you buy. And you can see that it works perfectly well with the rest of those pieces. I could have paid attention a little bit more to make sure that the lines are straight, but you know what? I'm okay with it. And even if you don't want the grid design, you could still use the background. I also like using those pieces, especially from the large packs like this one, for die cutting the white washi tapes. So they are, as you can see, they are wide enough to fit the washi tapes. So I usually just put like one panel of the washi onto this, die cut it, and that way I didn't have to use any of my white cardstock. And yeah. So as I said, I'm not going to die cut too many of those, maybe, you know, 5 in total, something like that, because I also don't want it to be overwhelming. But I still want the volume to really make it look like there are lots and lots and lots of layers behind. those pieces. Let's see. Looking for more paper scraps. I don't really want to bring in this color. I don't want to make it too much. Like maybe this one. And if I don't end up using it, I can still use it on a different project. Or maybe for a gift tag, you know. I think this dye is really, really versatile. Let's see. Checking the 6x6 paper pad real quick if I have any. So this would work a bit better because the lines are smaller, but still not convinced. Actually, it would have been better to use the small design for that one as well. This is perfect. This fits exactly one ticket. It's just a question of which side do I want. But you could still turn it. So even if you end up liking the back side more, you could still turn it. It's not too obvious that that is the back. So I'm going to use that. And by the way, even if you can't fit the whole die onto a scrap, think about or keep in mind what purpose you have for this piece. So, for example, for me, I want to layer lots of pieces together, meaning that some parts of my die cut element will be covered, like this ticket, for example. So you wouldn't notice if there was a piece missing here. So I could still just die cut this, even if there's something missing, and just layer it in. So look at your scraps like that. Try to make the most of it because, you know, I personally hate wasting products and paper. So I always try to get the most out of it. I think that should have been kind of, it seems like this is the theme of today. So this is the paper on a smaller scale. So you can see you could fussy cut some of these notes as well. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do this one for now. I just love both sides. So this is my favorite paper in the whole collection. So this time I am going to try to make the lines a bit more straight. And you can just take a paper piercer or a needle or the double-sided embellishment tool to poke out these little things. I think chads. Are they called chads? I think. So yeah, now it looks like a ticket that you could tear off. And the backside is really cute too, but I think because there's going to be a lot of elements, maybe this is going to be too busy. We will see. Yeah, I would agree. Card, wish list, you know, it's all, in the end, it's all the same. So this part here is perfect and also goes with the color scheme that I already have going on. Because as I said, I don't really want to incorporate this corally red color, or at least right now, I don't want to. You will see. Now, if you have a few smaller photos, you could even use the die to die cut your photos, which I have done in the past on different projects. I think I used this die in another YouTube live, actually, quite a while back, where I cut my photos into this shape. I do want a little bit more of the yellow because I only have one yellow piece so far. So I'm gonna use the back side of the 6x6 take note paper to die cut the suns. Just trying to make sure that I get the colors roughly evenly distributed across the page. And I already have quite a few pieces in blue. Pink I have, you know. And this is what I said. So I don't want to cut a whole ticket. I want a little bit more of the pink, a little bit more of the yellow, but I don't really need a whole ticket anymore. So I'm actually just gonna die cut this. I want the edge, like this sort of punched looking edge. Of course, my favorite paper has to come. It has to make an appearance. I don't think I have. Well, I think I have only one or maybe two projects that I made with this collection that don't feature this paper. All the rest of the projects do. So you can see this ticket is not complete, but it doesn't matter if you just put it somewhere where you can't tell, you know, then it's still perfectly usable. Okay, let me clean my desk a little bit. So the die cutting machine I'm using is actually a European brand because I'm from Germany and I live in Germany. But it is pretty similar to the, what is it called? We Are Memory Keepers Mini Evolution, I think is what it's called. So they are not the same, but you know, basically, I think they have the same size of cutting plate and so on. So yeah, I love to have this machine for really small pieces like this, where I don't have to cut or use my large machine. It's really handy. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna cut just two more in white and then we are done. Then you don't have to watch me die cut anymore. If I had, is that correct? If I had, yes, this idea before the YouTube live started, I would have prepared at least some of the tickets and just die cut a few beforehand, but I didn't. I had a completely different idea when I started. But I hope that you don't mind that I don't have things planned out like to a T. All right. Okay, so I have quite a few tickets now. I am going to put my die back into the packaging before it gets lost in between all of the mess around me. Okay. No. Well, I did say 5 or 6 at the beginning, but you know, it's 5 or 6 white and then 5 more or 6 more of the patterned paper ones. But anyway, okay. Quick sip of water. Okay, now I need my tape runner and I need all of the scraps and notes. Now for my photos, as I said, I want them to look like they are another note that was put on this kind of bulletin board, memo board, whatever you would call it. So you could either cut a larger piece that completely backs the photo and leaves a bit of a frame to give it something to, so it stands out a little bit more. Or what you can do is, if your photo is too large for the ticket die, you could just take one of those notes, for example, cut off the white frame, and then simply give it the same sort of torn edge at the top, and then it would look like another note. So I'm still kind of deciding between, you know, making it look a bit more like this, so it stands out, or more like a note that is incorporated in between all of the other notes. But before I do that, I will just go ahead and start layering things. Now, another idea I just had is I kind of wanted to play with watercolors today, or, you know, I kind of felt like it, but at the same time, I didn't want to do anything really, I don't know, super detailed. But what I think I could do is simply color some of the white tickets with some watercolor. So if you haven't seen the Pinkfresh Studio watercolors before, these are the 3 sets, 3 different colors, color schemes, pastels, I think, pastels, jewel tones and classics. And you can see here is my swatch. I think 2 of the colors are not what they are, no, more. 4 of the colors, at least on my swatch, are not what they are supposed to look like. So when you get them, are they available already? I don't know. You will have to correct colors. So let's see. First of all, I'm going to start layering things, and then I can see if there's any color missing that maybe I need more of, and then I can use the watercolors to bring in more of that particular color. Sorry. Oh, yay, that's great news. So the watercolors are finally releasing later this month. So yeah, maybe that's a good sneak peek then. I will show you the watercolors again in a second because they are gorgeous, like really, really good. And they will last you for ever, maybe. Okay, so I definitely need some foam tape, foam dots, squares, whatever, for dimension. And that's also a perfect way to use up some of these fun foam scraps, like in the brighter colors. So because they will get covered up anyway. Now, where to start? So to in order to not make it look too overwhelming, I won't, maybe I shouldn't do the like double negating, the other way around. Sorry, today I'm really kind of, I don't know. Rewind. To avoid things getting too cluttered, I won't place like the notes all the way to the edge of my paper or of my layout base. I will rather leave a little bit of a frame. I'm not going to draw a frame or make it like a straight edge, but just, you know, in my mind, I will keep in mind that I want to leave a little bit of space on each side. Okay. Now, first of all, so this tape runner is like, what do you call it? So I can easily peel pieces off, place them somewhere else. I could even rub off this tape runner. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting things somewhere. And then I will find a way to, you know, layer in my photos, layer in the rest of the pieces. But I have to start somewhere. Would you put them in pans and would they set up? I'm guessing, Amy, that you are talking about the liquid watercolors and like meaning set up. So what you can do is put your liquid watercolors into some sort of paint palette, tray, whatever. And when they dry, you can easily reactivate them just by adding water. So you will never waste any of the color, if that's what you mean. But they are not a paint like the watercolor in tubes, like the paste that you could put into pans and let dry and then reactivate. That doesn't work. But if you have something left on a tray, on a paint palette or something, then you can reactivate it. I hope that, you know, I hope that that's what you were kind of asking. If not, then please just ask again. As I said, my mind today is just, I don't know. So I am going to add a bit of foam behind some of the pieces to create more dimension, but I am not going to add any adhesive right now. I will wait with that until I know exactly where I want things to go. And then in the end, I will also layer in, of course, some embellishments and so on. But first of all, I want to get this part kind of done. So Kay Andrews, they are not available yet in the Pinkfresh Studio shop, but Heather said that they will be at the end of this month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm sure it will be announced on the Pinkfresh Studio Instagram and so on. Or if you are subscribed to the newsletter, I'm sure that it will, you know, it will be shared when they are available. Because I think we've all been waiting quite a while now for them to become available. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes open for that, because I can imagine that they will go fast. Because the colors are just gorgeous, and I have seen some of the projects that the design team, the scrapbooking and the card making design team made with the watercolors so far. And yeah. So maybe I should bring in a few of the tickets. So as I said, I am using up some of the fun foam scraps as well. And I am using like the colors that I wouldn't want to use for shakers, for example, on cards, because you can always see a little bit of the color peeking out. So I'm making sure that I'm not putting it right towards the edge of my paper pieces, simply so that when you kind of look at the layout, it doesn't peek out from the side. Hope that makes sense. Amy, I will show the watercolors again in a few moments. I'm not sure if I have a project made with the watercolors that I could show you right now, but if you check the Pinkfresh Studio blog or Instagram, you will find lots of projects using the watercolors because the design team has been using them for a while now. So yeah, you will definitely be able to find quite a bit of inspiration for them already. Definitely want to make sure that I keep the pink note visible, because right now I don't have any of the pink here. And I also try to kind of distribute the colors, maybe not evenly, but I'm intentionally not putting, for example, the two blue pieces right next to each other. When I'm going to add the yellow, I'm probably not going to add it right next to the other yellow, and so on. So this is something that I kind of try to keep in mind when placing those pieces. So I'm simply trying to kind of build the layers. I'm trying to make sure to make it look uneven. So I don't want things to end in a straight line, because that's not what it would look like on a note or on a, is it called memo board, bulletin board, whatever. I think you know what I'm talking about. I hope you do. So as I said, I think so this design, even though it's my favorite pattern in this collection, is a bit too busy for that particular layout. So I am going with the cornflower blue checkered design. And things are not, as you can see, adhered permanently. I will do that once I know where things should end up. So you can see, once I add in my photos, for example, they take up some space as well. So trying to figure out where to put them. Or if I maybe just want to use one in the end. Because I think for two, I should have printed them a little bit smaller. Maybe it works. We will see. Maybe a bit of shuffling around. Oh, I completely agree, Louise. Making things look random intentionally is really hard, I think. Yeah. So I definitely want, I'm also putting like this note so that it covers just a tiny part of my photo, just to give it even more dimension. And then, of course, you can use some or one of the notes to put your actual journaling on there. But I think I might need another one from this paper. And I think I'm going to need the green. But again, I don't want the whole thing. So maybe just this part. So I agree. I would also, in a case like this, I would sometimes go for an odd number of photos, but I don't have a third one of those. And even if I would have to print them smaller, because if I added a third one in the same size, it would cover too much of the layout, at least, for me. So I might end up either not using the second photo. I think we're getting there. And you could even kind of, let's take this one. So I'm gonna cut the top. But to give it a more realistic look of like notes, you could even just tear the bottom. And I like how that looks. And I think I'm gonna go with the 2 photos actually. Or maybe the one. I like both versions, I have to admit. I think with one photo, it looks a little bit more airy, a little bit more not as crowded, even though, I am going for a little bit more of a crowded pin board, memo board look. But still. So I need one more piece here. And then maybe I might add the second photo again. We will see. We will see. Now I don't want this photo to kind of hang in space there. Oops, that was a bit too much. That was not intentional. I did not tear as planned. Anyway. Okay. So this is something, in the end, once you're done with your design, you could even go back in and add just a few more pieces here and there, just behind even small scraps to create more dimension. Okay, so I am going to start actually kind of sticking things down. And this is a bit tricky now because, of course, I don't want to move all of the things again. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to tear this one as well. But this time a bit more carefully. Sorry, I have to get rid of a bit of the scraps and stuff on my desk here. Sometimes I forget that I'm, on camera and you can see my desk. So you know what? I'm not going to do the watercolor. For one thing, because I still want to have time for embellishing, and secondly, because I think it wouldn't be that noticeable anyway. So I think I'm going to skip the watercolor, but I will show you the watercolors again in a second. Don't worry about that. You know what? Let's check the embellishments, because maybe there's something in the embellishments that I can use to fill in the gaps a little bit. And I will add, once I when it comes to then tearing everything down permanently, I will add more dimension. Right now, everything is just so that it, you know, kind of stays where it is for now. Because I don't want to end up, or having to end up, do all of this again. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I'm. I am liking this a lot more than the black and white, because the colors are perfect. I feel like they fit in a little bit better. And because, as I said, these are two scrappy friends. We met at a scrapbooking like trade show in Spain. So even the theme of like scrapbooking, crafting fits really well with the memo board idea. So yeah, loving this. Okay, so I will have a look through the embellishments now before I layer in any more pieces. I feel like the color photos are just meant to be, or meant for this kind of layout. So let's see, the layered stickers. I am definitely going to include the sort of calendar memo board because, well, it's obvious, I think. Maybe the time to celebrate could work as well, but I'm not sure. Sí, Susie, tú faltas, pero so Susie she's also in the Pinkfresh Studio design team, con los limones. I'm sure you have seen her beautiful projects on the Pinkfresh Studio channel. She was there as well, but unfortunately not in these photos. I'm not sure we even have photos together, Susie. I think we are really bad at taking photos when we are together. So let's see. So these are the puffy title stickers. One of my favorite products in the whole collection, with this rainbow ombre design. And let's see. So I'm not going to use those that have the red in them, just because I don't have any red in this design, in this layout so far. I could maybe try the We Just Click, Enjoy, Life is Sweet, something like this. But I'm not sure if it gets lost in between all of these pieces. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I feel like it's a bit too much. Now, what else? Let's check. Did we take photos together? If we did, can you send them to me, Susie? So in the journaling bits, there are also some pieces that you could use for layering in. So like this card, for example, perfect also for journaling, or you could just tear one half of it off and then slide it in. But it's quite large, so I don't feel like it's working for my project. I feel like it covers up too much. Now the ephemera, I have to say, because I have a few packages of each embellishment, I did mix quite a few packs of ephemera, together. So you might see duplicates of some pieces, but in your package, there's only one. It's just that I have multiple embellishment packs, ephemera packs, and so on together. And you can see here I have even more of the notes already fussy cut. Actually, this one might come in handy somewhere. I feel like I need more pink. But this pink is quite bright pink, so I'm not going to use this one. No. So definitely going to bring in the positive vibes somewhere. And when I don't really know where I want to put things yet, but I know that I definitely want to use them, what I usually do is first of all, find a paper scrap. If you could see my desk right now, like everything that's pushed off camera. You know what? So I just had another idea. So this is actually a note paper block pad, whatever I have. So you could even, if you have something like this, you could even take actual note papers and include them. And this one actually looks like it was designed for this collection. It has the same sort of grid and color as the others. So yeah, maybe you could even incorporate actual notes. But that's not what I want to tell you. So every time I don't know where I want to put something and it's sticky, I just put it on a piece of scrap paper, note paper, whatever, and simply fussy cut it. And now it's more like a die cut or like a ephemera, and I can move it around until I'm happy with the placement. Now I'm not going to do the whole like adhering everything down with foam tape and stuff on camera, because then I would spend the rest of this YouTube live session just gluing things down. And I don't want you or want to make you watch this. So I will do this after this live session off camera, and I will try to put everything together as, as finished, as close as I can. This one. So this one says stay close to people who feel like sunshine. You can see I already used it once, or then again decided against it because it already has a piece of scrap paper behind it. So this one and the positive vibes is from the cardstock stickers. Now, what else do we have? So in the vellum ephemera, I almost forgot about those. In the vellum ephemera, you also have one or more of those note papers. Trying to find the packaging for it without, you know, throwing everything from my desk. There it is. No, it's just one. So this one note paper is included in the vellum ephemera. So that would also be great for layering in if you need something, you know. But I don't think I need it, actually. So let's see. What are my thoughts right now? So because the inspiration for this is sort of this memo board look, I am okay with having embellishments scattered a little bit more around the page, because it would look a bit more like you would treat an actual memo board where you just put things somewhere, you know, where there's some space. Whereas on a regular layout, I usually try to do things a little bit more clustered. But yeah, I think with this one, I'm okay with having things a little bit more spread out, a little bit more here and there, just kind of scattered around the page a little bit, if that makes sense. Let's see. So the chipboard frames, that's also a good one. This one actually includes some frames, as well as, so you could even, you know, use some of the chipboard frames to maybe make your photos stand out a little bit more. I think that would be perfect, for example, if I used the black and white, like this, you know. So it's a little bit more, now I really like this. I really can't decide. Maybe I will just have to make a second one. Because that one actually looks really good with this dark green frame. Anyway, I'm kind of going off on tangents here. Let's see. So in the chipboard frames, which is not only frames, you also get these phrases at the bottom. Also one of my favorite things. And I think they are perfect for layering in as well. So I have some joyful moments here. Trying to make sure that I only use the colors that I already have in the papers. Something like a day to remember. And that's also a great way to repeat a color that you maybe don't have enough. Like the pink, for example, I said I might, you know, fussy cut or die cut another pink piece, but by incorporating some pink elements, I'm already kind of, you know, balancing things out. That's what I was trying to say. Not sure where I want to put this. So I will agonize over the exact placement later. I think it would be, so this one says a day to remember. I think that one would go really great with the sort of calendar piece. And now I'm going to have to move this somewhere. I don't know where. Okay. Let's see. So you could even use photos in different sizes by using different size frames. So, you know, one like this, one like that. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if when I finish off this project after the YouTube live session, like gluing things down and so on, and then take photos of the finished project and share it on my Instagram and so and social media. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually changed out the photos for the black and white and used the frames. Just so you know, just a heads up. Now, For the embellishing, I told you at the beginning that this collection includes some elements, some illustrations that kind of are like focused on the crafty part. So there are some paintbrushes and the paint palette and scissors. So I definitely want to make sure that I include those pieces on this layout because, as I said, it was taken with some scrappy friends. So of course it has to include some scissors and some paintbrushes. And so I just have to find them, which might be a bit difficult because I know that I have used the paintbrushes and the scissors on quite a few projects already. So I might have to open another packet. Oh, almost forgot about the puffy stickers. See, I told you my desk is a mess. I don't even see all of the embellishments. So here's a paintbrush that goes perfectly with the color scheme. I'm just placing it here for now. As I said, the placement of some of the embellishments might change after this YouTube live session, but I really don't want to spend too much time right now trying to figure this out because I don't want to bore you with that. So I'm trying to build just some smaller clusters, just so that it's not too much, not too random. So I'm still trying to place, some of the embellishments in little groups so that they have a bit more of an impact and are not too scattered. Now, what about my plan that I wanted to include some pieces that I had left from different projects? Feel like this might not work out. So the butterfly fits the color scheme great, but I feel like it doesn't belong. It doesn't work with the theme of this page. Yeah, no. So the butterflies will have to make an appearance on a different project. Thank you so much, Debbie. Oh, Amy, but that is a great way to kind of practice layering. Art journaling is perfect for that because with art journaling, I feel like there really isn't a right or wrong way to do it. It's just kind of getting into it and not even thinking, just doing. So I feel like if you struggle with layering, art journaling is a great way to practice. Okay, so I have 15 minutes left. And I still feel like I want to bring in something else, but at the same time, I don't want to make it, too much. So yeah, maybe I should just leave it with with trying to bring in elements from more, what am I trying to say? Product suites. So that was the paint palette going in there. So you can see I'm already on my third sheet of puffy stickers. But I just love them. definitely going to scatter around some puffy stickers, because why not? And trying to layer even the embellishments. So by putting those, you know, or having those overlap, you create even more layers, even more depth. So don't only put your embellishments like next to each other, only touching. Have them really overlap and so on. And also trying to kind of, as I said before, distribute. Where's the stress? The colors roughly evenly. No. Definitely going to use one of the geotags to, you know, write down where this was taken. Again, placement might change. And I still need something for this part here. Or actually, I might kind of change the shape a little bit. So right now I was trying to have it, you know, have the same sort of space on either side, but maybe I will change it like so. Yeah. I think it's okay if it's not, you know, completely even, because again, it's a memo board. Memo boards are not even. Let's see if there are any more embellishments that fit. Snapshots of life, maybe. I'll probably layer in some of the flowers. So these flowers here, this one and this one were fussy cut again from this paper, Beautiful Day. So this is another way you can make it a bit, you know, some more floral embellishments if you need to. Actually, that one works better with the color scheme. So I'm trying to create a little bit of a visual triangle, roughly, with this little cluster here, another little cluster here, and then trying to create something up here. So you have this sort of triangle that kind of frames the photos. No, Debbie, I'm not going to put an actual border on this page because I feel like it would, well, actually, okay, you gave me an idea. Hold on a second. Okay, so I just grabbed this. This is some balsa wood. I think it's the same in English. Balsa wood that I have left from a different project. This is really easy to cut. And you know what? It would be perfect to add it around this to create an actual frame. I have a few more minutes left. You gave me an idea, Debbie. It's either going to look really hideous or really good. So let's try it. Let's just give it a go. So I'm marking 12 inches in length. And so you can see it's just a regular X-Acto knife. It's just, you know, nothing special. And there are even thinner pieces of balsa wood available. I think this one might be 2 or 3 millimeters, whatever that is in inches. Oh, that wasn't. So it's a bit more difficult to cut against the, what is it called? Grain? No, it's balsa, B-A-L-S-A. I think it's the same in English, but I'm not 100% certain. So let's see. I think 1/2 inch should be enough. And I will cut one piece first and just have a look. I don't want to waste this balsa wood. So, moment of truth. I think I need a second piece to actually tell if it looks good or if it looks, you know, not so good. I'm not sure if there's a different word in English for it, for this sort of material. But it's usually used, for example, for like model plane, model train, model crafty people, usually men. So you should be able to find this somewhere where they sell things like that. Or in a, you know, good craft store. That one didn't cut even, but I can cut that later. So I think that might look cute in the end. I'm not going to do it now. And first of all, I also need to, so I want to make it look a bit more like an actual frame. And frames aren't usually put together like this, but rather have, what is it called? Like the diagonal lines in the corners. Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly. Like Hobby Lobby, something like this. Like, is it called mitered edge? I think it's mitered edge. I might be mistaken. You know. See, I didn't even see your comments. And I did think of mitered. Not too shabby, I think. Sometimes I surprise myself. I mean, English isn't my, obviously, English isn't my my native language. But yeah. Oh, it's not, so to get those edges lined up, so what I usually do is, first of all, I cut the edge on one piece using my cutting mat as a guide. So you can see I have the 45-degree angles like indicated. And then I simply place this piece on top of the next piece. And I mark the line. And then when I cut it, it fits perfectly together. And sometimes I even put on the back something like 1 and 1 so that I know which edges belong together. I hope that helps. So yeah. But now I don't remember which edge I used to trace this, but we will see. So if you used some of this balsa wood or whatever it is called in English, you could go for, as I said, for a thinner version that's also easier to cut and wouldn't give you as much dimension on your layout. Although, since we already have a lot of dimension with all of the layers and all of the notes, I think it's not too bad. Okay, I'm not going to do the third and fourth part of the wood right now because, you know, I don't want to bore you with that. And I still have to glue everything down before I can hold up the layout to show it to you. And I really don't want to risk anything moving around too much. So just having a last kind of rummage through the die cuts. Still can't really get over the, you know, the frames and the black and white photos. So who knows? But then I have to change the paintbrushes and scissors. I might even do that with just those photos. So just cut them and put them into the frames so they stand out a little bit more. Might do that. Okay. All right, so 2 minutes left. As I said, I will finish this frame off camera, same as some of the embellishing. I think, you know, the embellishing in the end there isn't too much left to do. So I hope it's okay if you don't see the completely finished project for now. But it's just that, you know, one idea came to another. When I started, as I said, I did have a completely different idea in mind. So sometimes it goes like this, and I hope it's okay for you that, you know, this is just the way I do the YouTube lives. I don't have things planned out completely. So yeah. So I'm gonna hold up the layout real quick. As I said, I'm not gonna turn it too much so things don't move. But here you can already tell a little bit, you know, how layered it is. Although once I add in the dimensional adhesive, it will be visible even more. Now, let me flip my camera real quick to say goodbye and also to check if Heather has picked a winner. Let's see. Yes. So congratulations, Paola Gelmetti Dembrovsky. You are today's $15 gift card winner. So all you have to do to claim your prize is email leah@pinkfreshstudio.com and give her, you know, 2 to 3 business days or something to get back to you, and then have fun spending it in the Pinkfresh Studio shop. So let me just check real quick if there are any more questions in the comments. If you liked this video, I would appreciate it a lot if you gave it a thumbs up. And thank you so much, everyone, for the nice comments. And I'm happy you enjoyed it. And keep your eyes peeled for the finished project. And yeah, I think that's it for today. So I'm not sure when I will see you next. In 2 weeks, it's Natalie again, back with another scrapbook YouTube live. And next week, there will be, of course, another card making live. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Heather. And I hope you all have a great day. And see you again soon. Bye.